What's up, fellas? Today we're going to be going over some pretty big substantial beef in the Warzone community. Now, if you don't play that dog shit game, I'll go ahead and explain to you the players that we're referring to. HusKerrs, who is one of the best players for sure. He plays on keyboard and mouse, PC, whatever you want to call it. And Nickmercs, who is a lot bigger streamer. He got really big off of like Halo and Fortnite. And I'm going to go ahead and read this entire situation that HusKerrs, laid out here. It's like 6 a.m. here. So, my cognitive ability is not at its best right now. So, hopefully I don't fucking stutter up a shitstorm while trying to read this. But, here we go. Before I get into what happened yesterday and today, I want to give everyone a complete rundown of how this entire situation began months and months ago for full transparency. And because there is still a lot of misinformation floating around. I also want to mention that I've been ignoring everything negative concerning Nick and have been trying to move on for months. I should probably, make note that this is HusKerrs' point of view, by the way. Several months ago, Symphony and I played against Nickmercs and Swag in a Warzone Duos Kill Race tournament. The way these tournaments worked is that one team would host the first map and the other team would host the second map. Swag hosted the first map, and after the first map was over, Symphony and I went to take host, and we ran into stream snipers and cheaters several times, which forced us to restart the map a couple times. Nick then asked me to let Swag host to reduce the risk of cheaters since he was on PS4 at the time, but I refused because we deserved to get hosts like the rules said. He asked me why I wouldn't let them host, but all I'd say was that we were allowed to host the second map per the rules. The reasoning was that since Sim and I were on mouse and keyboard on PC, the lobbies would most likely be sweaty on our host, and we knew that we would play better than Nick and Swag against sweaty players. Because of this, Nick began to hate me and refused to play with me ever again. Initially, this didn't bother me because Nick can, of course, like and dislike whoever he wants, but over the next month or two, there were multiple times where I'd ask my other Warzone friends like Cloak or Tim to game, but I hardly get a chance to play with them because Nick would be in a group and say stuff like, "Nah, I don't fuck with that dude." I also then started getting a ton of messages in the chat asking me, HusKerrs, why do you and Nickmercs never play together anymore? Which I always ignored. Fast forward a couple months, and Nick hits me with the unfollow on Twitter, which in my eyes is a fuck you to fellow streamers, and that same day, some dude in chat asked me the same question. I know about the entire situation in the unfollow. I told my chat that Nick was being petty about the tournament and acted like a man baby. I also said, quote unquote, I'll say it to his face, bring him in a Discord, which was my way of saying I had no problem calling him out directly instead of saying it behind his back. For some reason, tons of people, Nick included, interpret this as me saying I'd literally go up to him in person and say it to his face in a threatening manner. Which is silly because why would I fly to meet someone in person and get physical over a Warzone disagreement? Nick catches wind of this from someone sending me a clip in a stream, or from my stream, then goes to his stream the next day to call me a 5'7" fruitcake, weirdo, loser, couple other names, and says I should watch what I say about saying it to his face because look what happened to the blue-haired dude. Referencing an encounter with him and Ninja in person, question mark? I don't even know what happened. A couple days after that, Aiden makes a Warzone tier list, which I had a watch party for on my stream. When he gets to Nickmercs, I tell my stream that Nick is dog shit at Warzone and has the reaction time of a dead walrus. Fast forward a couple more days, and Nick gets another clip sent to him from my stream months prior, before this entire shit show even started. The clip was me being in a pregame lobby opening on my Twitch on my second monitor to see Nick in the fitness category while he's doing a workout stream and me saying, quote unquote, how are there 30k people watching someone work out? I don't get it. This was me joking my chat and making a generic statement. The next day, Nick takes his extremely personal, goes on his stream and gives a 10-minute speech about how I'm an extremely jealous, toxic person trying to belittle the work that he has done to build this community, and that I'll never get to anywhere near his level of viewership for various reasons, mentioning things like how his YouTube Shorts channel is doing better than my main channel and so on. From this point on, I stopped saying anything at all, and I've actually done the due diligence of, bringing up the Catalyst clip that started everything. I was going to go through and literally try to find each video that, related to each point. But I literally, all of these Warzone clips, it'll like, you see the title, HusKerrs to explain why he and Nickmercs hate each other. And then it's 5 minutes full of bullshit and the clip is like hidden in there somewhere. So, here we go.
I'll tell you why. Nick has beef with me because attorney that was 5 months ago, where Sim and I beat him and Swag, they tried to take host for the second map when they hosted first map, because they're like, you're on PC, if you host, there's a higher chance there's gonna be hackers. And we're like, fuck you, we're taking hosts. And so he was a fucking man baby and cried about it. That's why.
Is that it? Because that is fucking really stupid. I think he continues to talk about it.
I would say that to his face. Bring him in my Discord. I don't care. Literally clip it and send it to him. I literally don't give a fuck anymore. He unfollowed me on Twitter because of all of that.
Yeah, so I guess that was the catalyst of it all, so I guess we'll just go back and read the rest. I think I was here. For the last 3 months, I've had to put my chat in sub-only mode for long periods because of people from Nick's community constantly coming over and spreading hate and toxicity. There's also multiple comments from this community on many of my tweets, IG posts, YouTube videos, and TikToks. I understand Nick has a huge platform with thousands and thousands of fans that he can't directly control, but the fact that his community has continued to do this for months after the arguments ended baffles me. Dude, why does everyone use TikTok? I've never even used it. I've never even been on the app, but it's like 10 times more popular than I fucking think it is. The most upsetting part of all this, and what ultimately caused me to speak up about this publicly, was what transpired yesterday and this morning. Yesterday, I posted a selfie with someone on Twitter, and within hours, I had at least one of Nick's Twitch mods, his own graphic artist that works for him, and people that Nick follows harassing me, bothering me, and the other person in the picture. This morning, Nick posted his response on a stream. You can listen to his response here. Let's watch it.
You can't, and especially, you cannot go.
Okay. If you guys want to watch this video, you can go ahead and just go to HusKerrs Twitter. You know, click the link to this huge long summation of what's going on and watch the video. But I'm certainly not about to watch a fucking 10-minute video. If you listen to the video, Nick speaks for 7 minutes about how he believes in you reap what you sow, and that I deserve everything that has happened to me, once again bringing up the tournament from several months ago. So there's a little Cliff Notes hash up of what happened, I guess, which, you know, he says you reap what you sow, and I deserve everything that has happened to me. But there's not even, like, you know, if this is the worst thing that's happened to you in the past year, you're doing pretty good, dude. Besides the part where they harass some chick in his photos. That's stupid. I don't hate Nick, and I never have. I'm not out to get him. There's literally no good reason for me to have bad blood with him. I was very frustrated with how things happened and spoke up about it. We could have handled it differently, but at the end of the day, this needs to be squashed because I'm tired of constantly dealing with hatred and toxicity. I'd be more than happy to speak with Nick privately to end this, but I felt it necessary to inform people of everything that happened so they have a better understanding. Yeah, I don't get how two grown-ass adults make this big of a fucking deal. Out of something as petty as hosting a fucking Warzone tournament. I do understand why someone would be annoyed at somebody for, you know, just not wanting to give up hosts so they can, you know, stop cheaters. I do understand that. Especially whenever, you know, it's a competitive thing they're doing, you know. They're trying to see who can get the most amount of kills. It's like a kill race, basically, how they did Fortnite Fridays back in the day. I understand how, you know, that could come out of it. Just, you know, them getting frustrated because it's not going their way and it's a competitive event. But, man, this is like a way... Dude, like, it shouldn't... something as fucking stupid as that. Does that not need 60 fucking responses on each of their streams? It doesn't need people from someone's community coming through and harassing a chick that's got nothing to do with anything. That's pretty fucking ridiculous. But this is like a very somber beef. Like, it's really not that big of a fucking deal. It certainly didn't need to, you know, be novelized. That's even a fucking word. This is pretty damn long. It's like some long-ass manga. But yeah, I mean, it's silly as shit, and it's the most interesting thing that's happened to this game and this community in a while, because these players still follow this dog shit game, dude. Oh my god.